Hello everyone, this is ASCII, and I'm going to teach you about Healbot today, because it's the greatest add-on in all of World of Warcraft, and I hope to show you why you should download it. So, we'll get started with how Healbot works. Healbot works simply by clicking a frame to heal somebody. So this is my frame, right here. So the different clicks will cast different abilities. You can customize this however you'd like. For instance, my left click is Life Bloom, my middle click is Germination, or Rejuvenation, Germination, right click is Regrowth, Control left click is Nature's Cure, Shift right click is Wild Growth, etc., etc. So you choose which spell to cast based on your click, and all you have to do is click that frame and it will heal that person. So it is incredibly more efficient than any other healing method. Most people would click a frame and then press a keybind to heal, where you don't need to do that. This works faster than you clicking and then pressing a button, and then also you get all the icons on there so you know what's happening in that person as they're being healed, especially as a resto druid where I have a lot of HOTS and I need to monitor those HOTS. A lot of other healing frames do not monitor the duration of a HOT without you targeting the person. In this case you don't, as you probably saw a moment ago. There's Rejuvenation. When it gets to 9 seconds, it will start counting down to me. So if I have Rejuvenation on a lot of people, I can see when it's about to expire on certain people, and if I need to reapply it. So that's the general premise of Healbot, and that alone should make you want to download it, simply because it makes your life easier. You don't have to click frames, you don't have to bind keys or anything. You just hover over the bar and you click however you want to heal them. So we'll open up the options here and I'll show you what kind of options they have available. I'm not going to go into great detail about all the options. I just want to show you that there's a lot of customizing inside of it. So here's the menu for customizing which spell would be cast on which click. So left click and all of its modifiers, same thing with middle and right. And then you have all these buttons, so if you have a Naga, you can make each different button a different heal. That would confuse the hell out of me, but if you want to do that, go for it. Here's where you set up your skin. So I chose for mine to look like this. You can customize yours however you'd like. That's right here. You can change the width, the height, anything. You can make them look however you'd like. One of the interesting things that Healbot has is the groups feature. You can choose which people appear on what part of your Healbot, no matter what. For instance, I am at the top of my Healbot at all times, so I always know where I am on the frames. Underneath myself I have the main tanks, so they are always underneath me. I always know where they are on the frame, so I can heal them. And then on this particular skin I have the entire rest of the raid, just however they end up on there. I have a different skin for groups, to where it puts them all into their group, like group 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That's useful to me on fights like Butcher, where cleave groups are assigned to groups so I know who is going to be hit at which time. So I'll go back to my raid frame. Alright, so bar text is an interesting thing it has. You can show health on the bar, which is here at 0. But the interesting thing is you can set it as a delta. So if you have it set as health, it just displays their health. So I have 269,280 health. Cool, that doesn't mean anything. I'm going to take damage, I'm going to end up at like 198,242. I don't know what that means as a healer. That is useless information. However, as a delta, I know how much damage they have taken. And so, knowing how much my heals heal for, I know how to heal that person most efficiently. I know if all it's going to take is a rejuve, or depending on the encounter, I know they're going to take even more damage very soon, so I can cast an emergency heal on them while still not overhealing. It just makes things a lot more efficient, a lot easier to understand as you're healing. The icons, as you saw a moment ago, is a very nice feature because it not only just shows the icon on the bar, but it shows the duration left on that particular spell. However, you can set these up and customize them in great detail. You can go into each and every class, and they all have different spells that would appear as icons, and you can choose to have these display or not. So for me, I like to have a defensive cooldown show up for everybody. I know when somebody uses a defensive cooldown, so I know how to heal them through that. Especially tank cooldowns, I know whenever they're using them, I can judge if they have one for, you know, higher periods of damage later on, or I know if I need to use one of mine because they're not using one of theirs. You can use that for all the different classes you can set up. If it always shows up, if it shows up if it's only your class, if it's only your cast. For instance, if I was with another resto druid, I would not want their rejuvenation showing up on my bar, because I don't want to get my rejuvenations confused with theirs. Debuffs, so I have it set up to where when somebody gets a debuff, their entire bar turns blue, so the health bar turns blue, and I know they have a debuff, and so all I have to do is just hover over them, press Control left click, and that's my dispel, and they're dispelled. It's as simple as that, where any other healer would have to first somehow identify that person had a debuff through whatever means, then they would have to click on that frame, and then they would have to click whatever keybind, where I can very plainly see someone has a debuff, and all I simply have to do is just click and it's gone. A lot of fights I lead dispels, like on Imperator and whatnot, simply because I beat other healers to it. Not that I'm dispelling better than them, it's just I'm quicker than them, which is like the point I'm trying to make, is that Healbot works quicker than any other type of healing. You just click on the frame and it heals them instantly. There's no other thought involved. You don't have to like coordinate clicking and then casting or pressing your keybind or whatever. It just, you click, it's done. Those are some of the more awesome features that I think of Healbot. But as you can see, there's a whole lot of customizing in here. You can do a lot of things with Healbot. I just don't want to get into it right now because it's not necessary. I can help you if you decide to download it, even if you want to try it. Like, I'm not going to be upset if you download it asking for help and then you decide not to use it. Like, I would like you to try to use it and see if it works for you, because it is just so much better than healing any other way. Even using grid and click is inferior to Healbot, mostly because it's two different add-ons having to work in tandem, whenever Healbot is just doing it all itself because it's better. And also because it has features that other ones don't. Like, I know for grid, like if I cast a rejuve, it just shows like some tiny blue dot on that frame showing they have a rejuve. That doesn't help me. I need to know what the duration is left on it if I need to you know, recast rejuvenation. I need to know when it's expiring, especially for things like life bloom. I need to keep that up. I need to know when it's about to expire so I can keep it up. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the basics of how Healbot works. It's just you're going to be clicking on frames, running out of stuff, just clicking on frames, healing everybody, having a good time, instantly healing people, not worrying about anything. It's a better add-on than any other combination of add-ons there are for healers. It's just so much better. Talk about a few of my other add-ons I have for healers they might be interested in. The blue bar at the bottom below my cast bar, that shows my mana and percent, and then the black area above it shows my mana usage per second versus my mana regeneration per second. It's just useful to know if I'm casting too many spells. The number to the right side of the blue bar shows me how many seconds until I would have a full mana pool. I find that number to be incredibly useful because it makes more sense, because it takes into effect your regeneration, where any other add-on is just showing you like you're at 70% mana. You don't really know what that means. You can get a feel for it, but really if you have that timer right there, you can more clearly understand. It's like, wow, if I just stopped casting for 10 seconds I would have full mana. Even though I'm only sitting at like 85% mana, I might as well be full mana. And so you have a better mindset as you're healing. I use recount, obviously. I show my own heals per second just because if I'm recording, I can look at specific parts of encounters and I can try them out differently, different times, to figure out what the best way to heal is. And so I can, you know, improve my performance that way. I'm not in a raid, so you can't see a few of my add-ons. Up at the top I have small mana bars for all the healers, so I can judge what the other healers' mana pools are, so I just have an understanding of how healthy the healers are at a certain period. This is Tell Me When. It shows some of these cooldowns right here. It also displays my harmony buff that I need to make sure I maintain at all times. It's hard for it to fall off, but sometimes it does. It's also going to be the annoying noise you hear when it gets to about 5 seconds. I made a noise so that I would be able to more clearly understand it's coming. And it didn't come. That's awesome. Okay, well fuck that then. Oh, there it was whenever it ran out. Okay. Also underneath here I have all of the raid cooldowns that healers have and if they are available, and so it's just easier to call out for different raid cooldowns because I can clearly see what we have. Like if we need an amp, I know we have like 2 of them or 3 of them even, you know, we can call for one because we're just sitting on them not doing anything. That's pretty much it for, you know, add-ons that I use that are, you know, actually really effective, that improve my performance. But Healbot is worth a try for anybody, even DPS and tanks. I've always used Healbot as my raid frames because it just can show you so many different things and it's very useful. You can set your casts up to do different things, like left click can be to target that person, right click can be to assist that person. So if a tank you need to switch to a tank's target, you can right click the tank and you're targeting that person instead of having to figure out which bar it is and all of the little adds. If you have a battle res, like you're a warlock or a death knight, you can just set one of your clicks up to a battle res and you can get it instantly. That's how I always battle res Conti almost as soon as he dies, and he dies a lot. It's because, you know, I just click it, you know, I don't target him, I don't have to find my button because it's probably not bound. It's just click and it's done. That's all I've got. If you want to download it, you should download off Curse, and if you need some help figuring it out, I'm always available. I'm pretty good with macros and tell me when other add-ons as well, so I'm always available to help people. And I guess that's it. I hope you download. If you don't, I'll just stalk you until you do. See ya.